Hi! Welcome back to another L&J adventure video. I'm Liam.
I'm Jen.
And we've got an exciting video for you today, haven't we?
Really exciting. And do you know what? I'm going to let Liam do the honours. Liam, what's today about? What news are we sharing?
So this video is a planning video, hopefully interesting to you guys, for all about our upcoming honeymoon, Disney honeymoon. So for those new to the channel who haven't seen, obviously, Jenny and I are getting married this year in September.
We got engaged in Disney.
We got engaged in Disney. It was actually one of our first vlogs ever, back in 2022 at California Grill in the Contemporary Resort.
So special. Don't make me cry again.
It was our first holiday together, all of that. So you can go back and see that anyway. Maybe I'll put it below so you can have a look at that. But anyway, I digress. Today is all about our Disney honeymoon. And anyone who knows us knows how important travel is to us, how important Disney is for us. So we've gone for the full shebang with this. So we'll obviously go into a bit more detail, split this video up into talking about travel, accommodation, food, that kind of thing. But just very briefly, the honeymoon we have planned as it stands involves us first spending several nights in Clearwater in Florida, somewhere we've never been before.
I know, new to both of us as well. And the resort we're staying in looks beautiful, right on the beach.
Very nice, very nice.
Wait.
So that's where we're starting. Then we have got one night stay at the deluxe resort in Disney's Polynesian resort. Again, very exciting, something we've never done before. And then the big part of the honeymoon is we are going on our first ever Disney cruise. We are going on the Disney Fantasy for 7 nights around the Caribbean.
Again, Eastern Caribbean
Eastern Caribbean. More on this in a minute. Like I say, this is just an overview. And then after our fabulous cruise, we will then be spending 5 nights at another deluxe resort.
The Beach Club!
The Beach Club Resort, again, somewhere we've never stayed before. So you're getting a bit of a theme here. This is a trip of firsts, most definitely. And yeah, we're going to spend some nights there. We've also got a couple of park days arranged and a couple of extras, which we'll also come on to. So that is the overview of our extravaganza 18-day, 17-night honeymoon, I believe.
I'm just so excited.
And of course, we wanted to share it all with you. We're going to be vlogging the entire way. But before we set off, before we get bogged down by all the last minute wedding and honeymoon planning, we thought it was good just to share with you guys what we're doing, give you some tips on how to book a similar trip or similar parts of the trip if you'd like.
Give you an idea of like some pricing for some things, because we've got like some special tickets and extra days out. We're doing Discovery Cove. We're going to do Mickey's Not So Scary again.
We are.
So yeah, we've thrown in extras, some excursions on the cruise.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a boring trip by any means.
Definitely not. So we'll get you some prices and stuff for that. We'll talk about food as we always do.
Obviously, it's us. We're foodies.
We are.
There's going to be food. There's going to be lots of it.
And for those who don't know the channel, obviously we do make use of disability services because Jenny's got several conditions which can make things a little bit harder. So for that reason, we do make use of things like DAS and assistance at the airport. Obviously, DAS has changed a little bit, so we'll touch on that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a question in itself at the moment. But anyway,
So we'll touch on that as well. But like I said, it's just a brief overview, which has already lasted 3 minutes. But we will go into more detail now. And this is a complete planning video for our 2024 extravaganza honeymoon in Florida. So first up, transport and accommodation. I thought I'd bundle these two together. Now, as it is with us often, we did do some of this DIY. We booked some of these bits separately, but how did we book most of this honeymoon? So
if you saw our Manchester vlog last year, we actually booked in a travel agent, didn't we?
We did.
We were in Manchester and I know, we were going through the Arndale. I always go to say Arundel. Arndale. And we thought, oh, why not? We'll just go into the Virgin, the travel agents. And we got chatting to a lovely lady there, all about what we wanted to do, saying we wanted to cruise, we wanted a bit of Disney, a bit of relax. So yeah, we went old school and booked with the travel agent, which I don't know if we would do again, because we like to kind of plan things ourselves, especially Liam. You're such a planner, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's been easy. It took some of the stress out of it, but also now we're like itching to add loads of extras, which is what we've done, which we can tell you about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we booked through a travel agent, and she was the one who recommended where we're staying in Clearwater, which is Sound Pearl.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, there are definitely loads of benefits for booking for a travel agent, especially if it's maybe your first trip to Florida and you're doing the parks. I would say probably it works out cheaper most of the time if you book DIY yourself, but obviously there are a lot of perks to booking with a travel agent.
It's all under one umbrella.
Exactly.
You know, for us, we just kind of said it's our honeymoon, we've got accessibility needs. have fun. And they've gone and done it all for us. And how many times have we emailed going, can we add this? Can we change this?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I think
it's been fun.
For me, obviously, with the parks, I probably wouldn't book with travel agents because I like to think of myself as being pretty knowledgeable in that area.
I would say you're an expert.
This is obviously our first Disney cruise, and we're not as knowledgeable in that department.
Not at all.
It was really good to get that advice.
I mean, we didn't even know we were going to book a Disney cruise at first.
We didn't. No,
we were open to a cruise. We kind of thought it'd be fun, different for a honeymoon. So we went in and said, oh, we kind of want to do a cruise, but we don't want like nightclubs and casinos. That's not really our vibe. And I don't even know why we didn't think Disney cruise before. And it was Lynette, who she no longer works there, but she was fantastic. And she went, oh my God, you guys, why don't you do a Disney cruise?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, the obsession kind of went from there. I'm not going to lie,
guys. The obsession goes out at sea. But anyway, we're just to break down like the accommodation transport side of things. So obviously, because we booked with Virgin, we're flying with Virgin. As it stands, we're flying economy. We have pre-booked our seats because at the time that was free. However, you now have to, like with most airlines, pay to select your specific seats with Virgin. But we are flying from London Heathrow to Tampa. Oh, and also quickly, as you know, we love an airport hotel. Even though our flight's a bit later on the day, it's a 2 p.m. flight, we are going to be staying at an airport hotel at the Sofitel at London Heathrow. We've heard good things about. Obviously, anyone who saw our Florida vlog last year will know we stayed at the Sofitel at Gatwick. We're now going to be staying at the Sofitel at Heathrow to show you that.
This one has a little spa,
it does,
pool.
yes,
obviously, where our wedding venue is quite near the airport, so it didn't make sense to get married and come all the way back to Suffolk to go all the way back to kind of, southeast area. So it makes sense to stay there. And we thought, why not get a nice one with a pool so we can enjoy it for our afternoon flight. We've got plenty of time.
So that's the first accommodation, Sofitel. Then obviously flying with Virgin, and then we're going to be coming into Tampa Airport for the first time. And then from there, as Jenny said a moment ago, we've gone on a bit of a tangent since then, but we will be going to Sand Pearl Resort, which is a beautiful beachfront resort on Clearwater Beach. And we don't know a lot about it. And actually, there's, unless I'm mistaken, not a lot about it out there on YouTube. So hopefully we'll be able to show you, some of the perks of the hotel and give you an idea of if you should stay there.
Really show it off, actually.
Yeah, I've seen nothing but good reviews on things like TripAdvisor and that. So hopefully we'll get to review a bit. In terms of how the vlogging style works, I'm not sure yet whether we'll do a daily vlog when we're at Sand Pearl or kind of more of a 1 or 2 part piece, but we'll see how
we'll see when we're there.
So after our time at Sand Pearl, obviously we'll hopefully explore Clearwater a bit. There's a few things we like the look of around there, but we will be staying at Sand Pearl, sticking with the accommodation theme. We'll then be staying at the Polynesian Resort at Disney. We're actually hiring a car through Virgin to do that drive from Clearwater to Disney's transport centre.
Neither of us have ever driven in America before.
We haven't. I've never driven abroad before.
No, neither have I.
So that would be interesting.
That'd be fun. But it's like a 3-hour drive max?
Two and a half to 3 hours to
it's not horrendous. It looks like a pretty straight road. And we drive over the little bridge, so there'll be water either side and the dolphins, and we can't wait. Hopefully. And we'll be driving in the daytime, so hopefully we should get to see all the views and really enjoy it.
Absolutely. So. But then of course we'll be staying at the Polynesian Resort, which is just something we could never fathom.
Resort.
I will actually touch on how we've done that.
Costume change.
Costume change. We're moving on to the Polynesian look now. I see. We've got all of the ears out. I've only got these to wear, as you can see. My Halloween.
Polynesian and cruise.
Polynesian and cruise.
Continue.
No, very good. Just on the accommodation front, like I say, Polynesian. We're staying there for one night, and we've just got a standard room there, obviously with balcony, etc. But I'll touch also on Beach Club because they kind of come as a pair here because we booked both the Polynesian and a beach club. For those who are unaware, both are Disney Deluxe resorts, which is the highest level of Disney resort essentially. And we did this through David's DVC Rentals. We've mentioned them before. We have no affiliate with them. We're not paid by them and are endorsed by them in any way.
We've just had great experiences every time.
But we would highly recommend them. I know there are other ones out there that you can use, but we've had really good experience with David's DVC Rentals. So I'll put a link in below as well for them. Basically what it means is DVC is a little bit like a timeshare style thing. And for those like us normal people who don't have DVC, as much as I would love to have one.
It's basically like hiring someone else's timeshare.
It's hiring someone else's timeshare, and essentially that means that we can stay at these deluxe resorts for a fraction of the price that Disney would charge to stay there directly. Obviously, availability, it depends on availability. You have to pay up front, things like that. But yeah, really happy with that. So that's how we booked both our 1 night stay at the Polynesian and our 5 night stay at the Beach Club.
I can't believe we're staying at those 2 Disney resorts.
2 resorts we both dreamed of staying at, really.
I know. Every time we've gone into the Poly for a dining reservation, it's just incredible. And to think we're staying there, and then Beach Club, oh my god, the pool and
Stormalong Bay, yeah.
I can't wait.
Stormalong Bay is renowned, I think, as probably the best pool at any Walt Disney World property.
I mean, you have to scan your magic bands to be allowed in to prove you're a guest there. So obviously it's got like pretty strict.
Sand bottom pool, lazy river. So lots to look forward to with that. And then sandwiched between those two DVC stays is, of course, the bulk of the honeymoon, which is the Disney cruise. Now, which cruise ship are we sailing on?
We're on the Fantasy, and like we said,
Fantasy.
the Eastern
Caribbean.
And you said European. Caribbean cruise.
Eastern Caribbean cruise, yeah, exactly. And that is, like I say, the Disney Fantasy, one of the older ships now, because Disney seem to be churning out like 5 a year.
Is it one of the biggest?
I don't know, probably. If any cruise experts out there, please do let us know. I know it's something like the Disney Wonder is smaller, but those unfamiliar with Disney Cruise Line, they have a whole fleet of ships now that is forever expanding.
Soon to be a lot more.
Soon to be a lot more. We'll come on to that in a minute, because we will talk about some D23 stuff at the very end of this video, if it's not too long already. But yeah, ultimately, we're going on the Disney Fantasy. It's a 7-night cruise. In terms of the itinerary, just very quickly, it's going to be, obviously, we've got embarkation day, disembarkation day, and we've got 3 days at sea.
Yeah.
But we've also got stops. Where are we stopping? Putting on the spot.
Tortola and St. Thomas. So the British and US Virgin Islands and Castaway Cay.
Castaway Cay. So that, for those who don't know, Castaway Cay is Disney's private island, which is in the Bahamas. So very, very excited for that. So
I cannot, literally, I keep repeating myself. I cannot wait. I mean, we get married at the time of filming this, just under 6 weeks' time.
I know.
So
a lot of people have said in comments of these videos before that we talk over each other a little bit. The reason we're doing that, no, I'm just saying the reason we're doing that in this video is because we are so excited. This is such an incredible honeymoon. We really cannot believe how lucky we are to be going on it. So sorry if our excitement spills over a little bit. But yeah, ultimately we are going on Disney Cruise, Disney Fantasy. In terms of the room type, we have gone for a deluxe ocean view stateroom. Veranda.
Yeah, I thought the first time we do a cruise, let's do it properly, have a balcony. And I just can't wait to sit there with like an orange juice in the morning and look out at the port if we're there, or, you know, like day at sea. I can't wait.
Very exciting. So just for those who don't know, in terms of Disney Cruise Line, there's staterooms. I believe there's you have the inner stateroom, which has no kind of window or veranda. You then have ocean view, which typically has like a porthole where you can see the ocean. Sometimes I think it's digitalized as well.
I was going to say, is that the inner one with the like fake?
Yeah, you can get inner, and then I think you can get outer with an actual port view, I think. Then you've obviously got veranda, which is what we've got. You can also get family rooms with a 5th sleeper where a bed just appears from the ceiling. And then on top of that, Disney Magic. You've got the concierge as well, which is very spenny. But that basically gives you loads of extra perks in terms of booking windows, things like that. Obviously good if you've got a bigger party, but very expensive. So that's the kind of how that works. I've said about the itinerary already. Just a couple other things to note very quickly. We're getting Disney Cruise Line transport from the Polynesian and to the beach club.
We did that for a reason. We thought make it a bit easier for ourselves. Instead of hiring a car and driving from one side of Florida to the other to stay at a Disney resort, it just took the stress out. It means Disney transportation, if you get held up for any reason, the ship won't leave without you, because it's Disney getting you there. So how much was that again? Like 100?
About 100. I haven't got that right with me right now, or maybe I'll put it on the screen, but it was around the 130 mark, I think, something like that for the two of us return trips.
Yeah, and I think that was like what an Uber would be, give or take.
Yeah, obviously you could get an Uber if you prefer, maybe a bit more flexible, but then you don't know if they're going to sting you a bit with like.
We're anxious little bees, aren't we? Like to to have that guarantee of like getting there safely and it won't leave without us was what we wanted.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Last thing to note is a Halloween on the high seas cruise as well, which means I think there's a few. I think you can do trick or treating one night. There's also maybe a couple of Halloween themed little show things going on.
There's
decorations.
A pirate night. There's a Halloween night. There's a formal night.
There is absolutely. So hopefully with the Disney cruise, you'll learn with us, because it is our first experience of a Disney cruise. We did even debate at one point, will we film our honeymoon, will we not? But then we thought, we love vlogging. We absolutely love you guys watching our vlogs, commenting, getting in touch with us. It really does make our day.
Making Disney friends is just so much fun.
Exactly. So we wanted to share it with you, and obviously on the cruise especially, it's our first Disney cruise, so we can show it from the perspective of complete beginners, which should hopefully be
give a tour useful. And show you all the fun things going on.
But hopefully, I don't think I missed anything. That wraps up the transport and accommodation section of the video. So this next section is all on activities or things we're doing on the honeymoon. So I think the first thing to mention is we'll do it chronologically. Obviously, when we are at Sandpearl Resort in Clearwater, it's predominantly going to be a relaxing time, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna play it by ear, see what we fancy when we're there. There's boat trips, there's things to do when we're there, but I think after the wedding, we're just gonna go chill and just be spontaneous, which is really difficult for me and Liam, actually.
It is. We are planners, definitely. So we'll see how that goes. However, we have booked one thing. We are going to spend a day at Busch Gardens in Tampa, because we're not actually that far away from Tampa. Obviously, we're flying into Tampa Airport. Busch Gardens you went to when you were younger?
Yeah, do you know, I've not been in at least 15 years,
so
10, 15 years.
Busch Gardens is owned by SeaWorld. It's a theme park in Tampa, so not part of that kind of Orlando branch of theme parks like Universal, SeaWorld and Disney. However, like I say, it's owned by SeaWorld. It seems to have a lot of thrill rides. It's also kind of a bit of a zoo. Lots of animal experiences.
Really fun, haven't we?
We have booked something really fun.
We've booked a sloth experience.
Well, we said your dad has kindly treated us to that.
He has indeed.
It's something that you've wanted to do for a long time.
My dad owed me like a sloth experience from like 5 Christmases ago. COVID happened, we never found anywhere in the UK, and he thought, yeah, he'll treat us on our honeymoon.
Yeah,
so very excited.
So yeah, we're excited for that. So that's later in the day, so we're hopefully going to have a day of rides and fun at Busch Gardens, and then in the afternoon we'll go and do the sloth encounter, so that should be good fun. Then moving on to obviously the cruise. In terms of activities, you can do many excursions on a Disney cruise, but you can also do nothing at all. We were told by quite a few people, don't overdo it as it's your first cruise, but we have done a couple of excursions. We've done one for Tortola and one for St. Thomas. So in Tortola, we will be doing the Beach Express, I believe it's called, which is basically just a beach break. We go to, where is it called again?
Is it Honeymoon Beach?
No, that's somewhere else. Beef Island.
Beef Island, that's it. We got a really good vlog on that, didn't we?
We did, yeah, Tim Tracker vlog on that. So Beef Island is where we're going to be going.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does look gorgeous.
It looks really lovely.
So that's more of the relaxing excursion. And then when we're at St. Thomas, we're doing one called the Caribbean Sea Safari and Snorkeling, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And that basically, just involves a little bit of time at Honeymoon Beach.
Yeah, a boat takes us elsewhere to go and snorkel, see some turtles and some, sea life.
Yeah.
And then is there a barbecue? I can't remember.
I think there's some food or drink included in that that we've booked. So that's really good. Just to note, with excursions on Disney Cruise Line, I didn't know this, but firstly, I did know this part. You book, as first-time cruisers, 75 days out from your cruise. You can book, the window opens, things go very quickly. And of course, people who've sailed with Disney Cruise Line before will get priority and can book a little bit earlier than you. But yeah, pretty much go on there. Just trying to remember the exact time. I believe it was 5 a.m. UK time, midnight Eastern time.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m. UK time.
But things do go quickly, so make sure you're on the dot with that. But yeah, with the excursions, the thing I didn't know is that you do not have to pay upfront. Basically, that gets added to your kind of stateroom bill, if you like, at the end of your cruise. So you don't have to worry about paying for that upfront. But they're the 2 excursions we've got booked. And in terms of other activities, we couldn't stay at a Walt Disney World resort without going to Walt Disney World.
No.
However, it's a bit different, isn't it? Where are we going to be going?
Okay, so we've only got a few park days. We've got Epcot. We're going to enjoy food and wine and just soak up the festival and the activities. We're doing Magic Kingdom for a day. We did put a poll on our Instagram.
We did,
we were debating Hollywood Studios, but
I was team Hollywood Studios.
I just feel like a full day with the castle, happily ever after. It had to be done, guys. I'm sorry. And we've also booked a Halloween party. Outfits change.
Ooh. Yeah, so we are going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party for the 2nd consecutive year, and I have to say this was a very last minute thing for us, because
we only booked it the other week.
The tickets, I believe, opened in like April, May time, and it was actually only a couple of weeks ago that we thought we want to do it. And it was a bit of FOMO, a bit of being a spoiled brat, I'm not going to lie,
FOMO,
of thinking we're going to be there and not do the Halloween party, and we loved it so much last year. It is pricey, and that'll come into that in the cost bit of the video, but it is the honeymoon, and we really wanted to do it. And so we're very, and of course as well, because we've got limited park time on this trip, it just gives us that little bit more time in the Disney parks.
It gives us more hours in like Magic Kingdom to do some ride. The thing is, we want to meet some characters and not feel like we're missing out on like ride time.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it easy, have some themed snacks, do some shopping. Yeah, and we're gonna go to Disney Springs one night as well.
Yes, exactly.
We've got Discovery Cove booked
while
we're staying at Beach
Club.
Well.
Discovery Cove, another first for us. You again did it when you were younger, but don't really remember it.
I think I was 5 and I wasn't allowed to swim with the dolphins because I was too little, but they did let me come in for the photo.
So we've booked Discovery Cove, the package, because obviously all Discovery Cove tickets are a package. For those who don't know, that includes your all-inclusive food and drink for the day. So you get a breakfast buffet, a lunch buffet, snacks, drinks. I think some alcohol, but not all.
I was going to say, is that including alcohol?
I believe, I might be wrong, but I think you get beer and wine. But if you want specialty cocktails or different liquors and stuff like that, then that is an upcharge at Discovery Cove. Also, there's other experiences, like you can swim with sharks. There's the underwater experience with the head helmet thing. I can't remember what it's called. Too scary for Jenny. But we're just basically booked the normal ticket and we did the dolphin experience as well. And we did that on Black Friday, and I'll tell you how that worked out price-wise in a minute. We did, yeah. So that's really good. We're very excited for that. Obviously, the Halloween party is a big plus. And in terms of just going back to the parks, we booked 2-day park tickets through Disney directly. I used a VPN, booking it through the American website because that seemed to be the only way you could book like individual day tickets. Warning, that is definitely not the most cost-effective way to book Disney tickets, especially as UK guests. For us, it worked because time-wise, we just simply didn't have the time to do more than 2 days.
We were only there for just a really short amount of time. Like booking a deluxe resort, we want to enjoy the resort rather than having 5 days of constant parks. Yeah. So it was expensive. It's definitely not the most cost-effective way for like a Brit or someone traveling much further afield to go. But it's worked for us on this occasion. We wouldn't book tickets like that again. Never,
no, absolutely not. But obviously for 2 days, that is a cost-effective way to do it on this occasion. However, I think it fluctuates, but it's still only like 500 quid per person for like 2 weeks of park tickets for UK guests. We have a very good deal as UK guests for Disney tickets. Still expensive, but I was speaking to some Americans on our last trip and they could not believe how little we pay for 2 weeks of park tickets. So if ever you're going as a UK guest for just the parks, always look at the 7-day ticket or the 14-day ticket option through Disney or through other travel companies. But yeah, that's the way to do it. But I think that is everything in terms of activities that we are doing on this upcoming honeymoon extravaganza. Now, for anyone who has been following this channel for any amount of time, you will know that food is an important part of our Disney travels, isn't it?
Food is our love language. We love food, guys.
We do love food. So that being said, we have obviously got a few dining reservations booked for this upcoming honeymoon.
Just a few. We've not gone overboard like last time. That was extreme.
Last time, when we had the big Florida holiday last year with the family, I probably did go a bit overboard with the number of table service dining options we booked, to the point that we actually cancelled a couple whilst we were over there.
It's really hard. We love food. We see vlogs, we see, pictures and stuff, and we just get so excited. And especially like Woody's Roundup, we're like, oh my God, we've never done that one before, and it's new and it's themed, and you can't help it. You just get drawn left, right and centre.
I think as well for like UK guests, we're very spoiled. I mean, this is the 3rd consecutive year we will have gone to Florida, but realistically as a UK guest, you're not going to be going to Florida that regularly.
No.
And so when you do go, if you're like us, you're going to want to squeeze everything you can out of it. And with that said, you're like, oh, I've got to go here and here and here. The restaurants aren't going anywhere.
No.
And
there's constantly new ones opening. There's always going to be good food at Disney. We don't need to panic and cram them all in.
And as much as I love a Disney table service restaurant, you don't need to go overboard. You can do quick service. You don't need any.
You don't need any.
That said, we have got some. But if you're trying to, especially do the trip on a bit of a budget, or certainly save your pennies a bit, the quick service options in Disney World are amazing by theme park standards, I'd say.
There's fantastic snacks and loads of sharing options. Like, you do not need to have fancy, expensive table services.
That being said, here's a look at our fancy, expensive table services that we booked. No, we're not quite. But starting anyway at Clearwater, we will kind of just take it as it goes when we're there. There are a couple of places that we're looking at already. Sandpearl has a lovely restaurant. I think it's a AAA diamond restaurant or something called Coretta on the Gulf, which we'll be eating at least one night.
Yeah.
There's also Hooters nearby.
Oh, I love
where
Hooters.
We're staying.
I've got to get them at Hooters.
Which I've never been to, so I'm quite excited for that. In terms of then being at the Polynesian, well, actually, I'll just reel off the Disney World restaurants we have booked for you. So on this upcoming trip for definite, we are going to be eating, in terms of Disney World, at Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary Resort for dinner. We're going to be eating at Kona Cafe at the Polynesian Resort for breakfast.
The morning of our cruise.
The morning of our cruise. We're going to be eating at Beaches and Cream for dinner at Beach Club. We're going to be eating a character breakfast at Cape May Cafe. and then we've also got booked the boathouse at Disney Springs. So that might still sound like quite a lot by our standards. That is definitely cutting it down a bit.
It's spread across the whole
Yes,
time,
it is. So they're the ones we've gone. We're very excited. I think actually they're all brand new for us actually. We did have Beaches and Cream and the Boathouse booked last year but cancelled them. So
some of the family went to
Boathouse and had a really good time. We were toying with the idea of doing a restaurant at Epcot, but we're probably more likely going to just do food and wine on that day. And in terms of food on the cruise, basically, long story short, on the Disney cruise, whenever you book one, it is pretty much all inclusive in the fact that you have your breakfast, lunch and dinner covered, as well as snacks during the day. Breakfast is essentially a buffet. You have Cabana's buffet on most cruise ships, Marceline Market on the new Disney Wish. However, you can also go a la carte for breakfast, but most people go to the buffet. Lunches, again, Cabana's is open, but there's also fast food around the ship. And then for dinner, it's rotational dining. So essentially, you will be going to a different restaurant each night. Each cruise ship usually has 3 main restaurants and you rotate between them. On our cruise ship, they are Animator's Palette, Enchanted Garden, and I believe it's Royal something Court.
I think it's Royal Court.
Royal Court. They are the main 3 restaurants we will rotate between at night. However, we have booked on one night the adult-only restaurant Palo. How do you say it?
I say Paolo.
I think it's Paolo.
You say Pala.
I think it's Paolo. But we're going there. That is on our ship.
The dog wanted to join.
Oh yeah, there's our dog Peggy. She wanted to get involved again. But Paolo's an Italian restaurant. On other ships, it's a steakhouse. But that is like a fancier option, and that is an upcharge. We have to pay additional for that. But all of our other food is included. Alcohol is not. I also believe specialty coffees at the coffee shop and pastries and that aren't.
Specialty ice cream.
Specialty ice cream at, what's it called on our ship? Sweet on You, something like that.
It's got Mickey and Minnie.
I think it's called Sweet on You, I think, and then it's Vanellope's on the Disney Wish.
I think that's right, yeah.
And you also have to pay for popcorn in the theatre. That was another thing we didn't touch upon in the activities, actually. There's loads of stuff on Disney Cruise Line, and we'll show it all to you. But there are Broadway-style shows on for 3 nights of the cruise.
There's a cinema that's always running films.
Yeah, there is.
There's a spa that we want to get a spa pass to,
yeah,
so we can like dip in and out.
Yeah.
There's loads, guys. There's so much to do on that ship.
So that's, in terms of the food on the cruise, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making use of the rotational dining. We're going to eat at Paolo. We'll try and mix it up a bit of breakfast. Might eat on our veranda one morning.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
We might even go a la carte one morning. We'll see how we're feeling. But that is pretty much all of the food covered, and that's probably the shortest food segment we've ever had on a planning video for a Disney trip. So yeah, that's where we stand with the food anyway. So I'm going to take the lead on this section. Jenny's just going to sit and smile. I look pretty. I am going to very quickly run through some cost. I can't give you absolutely everything perfect because I'll be honest, this has been booked for like the last several years, so it's kind of all over the place a bit.
And we keep adding things, we've
removing
changed things, we've changed dates.
Exactly.
You know, it is a little bit of a headache sometimes, the numbers. To
start with, and again, we've had a bit of help and stuff with money here, so we're not rich but by any means, but it's a honeymoon. So the Virgin package, and that basically encompassed the flights, our stay at Clearwater, as well as our Disney cruise, and all of the food, all of the shows, all the entertainments including that. That came for the 2 of us to around the £5,000 mark, so about £2,500 each. Peggy's involved here as well.
She really
talking finances. So that's roughly what you're looking at. But Disney Cruise Line prices fluctuate so much depending on the cruise ship, depending on the duration of cruise, the time of year, where you're sailing to. So don't quote me on that, but that's roughly how much we paid. In terms of the David's DVC rentals, what we paid for the 2 stays at the Disney resorts. So the Polynesian for the one night came to a total cost of about £306, about $390 for the one night stay there. Obviously a Disney Deluxe resort. Sounds expensive, but still a lot better than Disney Direct. And then for 5 nights at the Beach Club Resort, we've paid £1,600, close to about $2,000. So they are for the stay at the resorts. In terms of some of the extras, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, ever increasing. One of the scariest things about it is the price.
It is.
It is. For the 2 tickets for us, and again, we booked quite last minute. I don't know if that plays anything into it. And we are also going to the Halloween party in October. The closer you get to Halloween, the more expensive it is. And that comes to $381 for the 2 of us, which is about £298.
My wedding gift to you.
Yes, it was. Jenny kindly paid for that. And then finally, we've got Discovery Cove, which again might sound a bit pricey, but it's actually a pretty good deal. For the entire day, that's all of our food, all of our drink, as well as the dolphin experience, and obviously access to all of the facilities there. So swimming with stingrays, the lazy river, stuff like that, and complimentary towels, lockers, sun cream, that kind of thing. Comes to £177 each, and that was a Black Friday deal booked through attraction tickets.
Yeah, I'm amazed all the extras that are included at Discovery Cove with like lockers, sun cream, and towels,
we did,
things like that.
We got a bit of a scare actually today when we found out how much it costs to get your photos at Discovery Cove. You're looking around the $200 mark for the smallest package, which is just the digital photos, and it's only like 20 cents more to get the premium package, which includes the frame and all of that. But it is extortionate. I mean, they could definitely upcharge other areas like lockers and things like that, which they don't, but photos is what steep, isn't it?
I mean, you're not going to go and have a dolphin experience and not have a photo of it.
Exactly.
So you're kind of forced to pay like $200 for it. I just think it's crazy.
And then lastly, going back to the start of the holiday, we've booked the Sofitel. We've booked quite a nice room there. We booked that through booking.com. So again, that's the sort of thing you don't have to pay until arrival sometimes with that. And that came to about £240 for the one night. But obviously it is a 5-star hotel at Heathrow, connected to Terminal 5. So quick and easy access to the terminal we are flying from, which isn't Terminal 5.
From T3, aren't we?
T3 we're flying from, yeah. So that was just a very quick rundown of costs. Like I say, these prices fluctuate. Do not expect to pay exactly the same as us, but that's just to give you a rough idea of how much we paid.
I thought I'd put these back on because, well, I only want to get married once, so I've only got one chance to wear them. Really.
I hope so. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, that's the kind of pretty much the honeymoon stuff all wrapped up, our Disney planning, so hopefully you enjoyed that. We thought we'd just tag on the end of this video a little bit about D23 because it's been quite a busy week.
We've got to go one year. I loved seeing the updates on people's Instagrams and TikTok and YouTube. Like,
I thought you meant go to Disney one year. I was like,
no.
We've been 3 years running. Oh,
no,
you mean D23 itself.
I must go to D23.
So those who don't know D23, it's basically Comic-Con for Disney. It's like a convention that lasts a few days. Huge announcements. Typically, sometimes it's on the East Coast, sometimes it's on the West Coast. This year it's in Anaheim.
For parks, you know, they do it.
The first day was obviously all about entertainment. They announced all of that stuff, so new films and things coming out. Particularly excited for Incredibles 3, although...
Didn't see that coming.
I'm a little bit like, can Disney kind of hold it with the sequels and maybe give us some more original stuff? But hey-ho, we love Pixar and Incredibles.
I'm more excited for Incredibles 3 than Toy Story 5. We knew that was happening anyway, but... Toy Story 5, really?
I know.
Should have kind of called it 3, in my opinion, but never mind.
But obviously the stuff we were kind of mainly interested in was the second day or third day, whatever it was.
The parks.
Which is the parks, the experiences, which kind of covers all of the parks worldwide as well as Disney Cruise Line. Now, do you think was the thing that stood out to you most, you're most excited about from D23 this year?
Oh my goodness, what I'm most excited about?
I'll answer first to give you a moment to think.
Okay.
For me, it's Monsters Inc. Land in Hollywood Studios.
I was going to say Monsters Inc. Land.
I think it is a fantastic idea, the perfect park to put it in. I think most likely going to go into Animation Courtyard next to where the Little Mermaid show is.
Don't take away the Muppets.
Yeah, we don't want it to go to take away the Muppets. We love the Muppets.
I love that area. Don't take away the Muppets.
So I don't know where it's going to go, but if it does go to Animation Courtyard as expected, that would be brilliant. I have been saying, for how long have I been saying that they need a ride themed to the flying doors in Monster Inc. And I know I'm not the only one who's been saying that.
No, he has. He said this for a very long time. I can vouch for that.
So it's definitely a case of, I think Disney has listened to what some people have said on that front, and the same goes with the Villains Land coming to Magic Kingdom, because everyone's always been going on about a fifth gate, a new park.
I knew it wouldn't be a villains park. As much as I love the idea of that, I just don't think that's what Disney would want. So to hear they're doing a land, I think is a nice nod to what the fans want.
Yeah.
And I think it will do really well. And can you imagine like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
That'll be,
Villains Land, they're going to do some great character meet and greets over there.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Is there 2 major attractions?
2 major attractions as far as I'm aware. From what we can see.
Dining option as well.
Yeah, and I think from what we can see from the concept art, the 2 major attractions look as though one's going to be like a coaster and one's going to be a dark ride. Which would make sense. Hopefully the dark ride will be themed to like all of the villains, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I would love the dining option to be like a villains character dining, which would be really fun.
That would be amazing.
I think it would be really busy, it would be popular all year round rather than just at Halloween.
But what food would you get served?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but it could be like a little bit like Pim.
Poison.
No, but like a little bit like
Pim
Pim's
Kitchen in Disneyland
Paris, that there's like quirky things, or I don't know, like something in like the rice is black and it looks scary, and then the rare character meet and greets, like I know Hades tends to be like a very exclusive event thing, but you could have like the Evil Queen.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
it'd be brilliant,
like,
wouldn't it?
Because Disneyland gets the Evil Queen and characters like that a lot. Like, I think for Disney World, a character dining experience there would be fun. Or maybe
100%.
if it's only characters at night and lunchtime is like a regular buffet, or I don't know.
I mean, Disney have definitely pushed the boat out with the announcement this year. As well as that, we've also got a Cars Land coming to Beyond Frontierland, or as it stands, going to potentially replace, or will replace, the Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America part of Magic Kingdom. So that sounds like that's going to be going ahead. One thing we already knew about, but a bit more detail, is obviously Dino Land is going to be making way in Animal Kingdom for what is going to be an Encanto themed area.
I think it makes sense.
As well
it's
as
time
Indiana
for
Jones.
Dino Land to become extinct.
Yeah, I think it's called Tropical Americas, something like that. But the Encanto ride will be like a dark, I say dark ride, but like, kind of a vehicle taking you through Casitas, the house coming to life.
I wonder if it's going to be like a trackless one, like,
Disney love trackless at the moment.
Ratatouille or Mickey and Minnie's. I feel like that kind of, craziness moving through, like the, behind each character's like doors, through their little like world. I think Encanto, and the music is great. So I feel like that'd be really good.
Dinosaur, the ride, which we love, is also going to be really themed to like a Indiana Jones attraction, similar to in Disneyland California,
that one hurts.
which we've not been to California, we've not done that before. But
I love Dinosaur.
We love Dinosaur. The good news is, I mean, this expansion in Animal Kingdom, or this retheming rather, is going to be completed in around 2027, they're claiming. So it gives you a good few years if you've got a trip planned coming up to enjoy Dinosaur and things like that.
I like that. I like how they're delaying Dinosaurs.
To give people that opportunity, it's a great ride. And I would say to people out there who, I know I've seen a few other vloggers answer this question, should I postpone my trip to wait for these things? Absolutely not, because there's so much in Disney anyway, and there's a good chance things could get pushed back, and you don't want to be throwing your eggs into all one basket for one attraction or one land, and it gives you an excuse to go again.
Well, say you're like an average Brit, you go for 14 nights, you get a package. It's really hard to fit everything into just 2 weeks is a long holiday, and it's an expensive holiday, but it's really hard to fit all the things in at Disney or Universal or anywhere else you try and go. It's just jam-packed. So even if you delayed your trip, you're probably still not going to get everything done you want.
No,
the dining,
no, exactly.
New dining things you want to do, or virtual queues for new rides and things. I think go again. Don't ask us. Go, keep going.
Before we talk quickly about the other parks, I just wanted to say two things I think about this. One, it's Disney's answer to Epic Universe, I think, at Universal. For those who are not aware, next year Universal are opening a brand new theme park called Epic Universe, which will feature so many cool lands, a Villains Land themselves, or like a Monsters area, How to Train Your Dragon, Super Mario or Super Nintendo World, as well as another Harry Potter Wizarding World section dedicated to Fantastic Beasts in Paris, as well as the Ministry of Magic. So that's going to be incredible, and obviously Disney had to do something to respond to that on the East Coast. So that's exactly what they've gone and done. And then the other thing I would say is I think that it probably quashes any chance of a fifth gate anytime soon, certainly in my view, because I can't see Disney spending all of the money that they are and investing in all of these existing parks, and then also going ahead with a brand new theme park. So I would say those of you who are anticipating a fifth gate, maybe put those expectations on ice for a bit, because I don't think that's going to be anytime soon.
I don't think they need it right now,
Probably not. If they're focused on expanding their existing product, and I respect Disney for that, and I think obviously we are a bit biased to Disney, but I would say for me it's good to see, as someone who spends a lot of their money at Disney, gives a lot of their money to the mouse. It's good to see that they're reinvesting it and they're doing stuff for everybody to come to the parks, and ultimately competition between Universal and Disney can only be a good thing.
Oh, I thought of what I'm really excited for.
Yes.
The Spaceship Earth Lounge.
I knew you'd mention that.
Spaceship Earth
Lounge.
It just came to me then. I was thinking of all the attractions, and I was thinking how Epcot's like basically finished now, from all the renovations there. And I was like, oh, what's Epcot got? Spaceship Earth Lounge.
That's one of two new lounges coming in the latest D23 updates. The other being a like tavern themed lounge coming to Magic Kingdom. So Magic Kingdom's going to be very big soon.
I know.
And then very quickly, obviously Disneyland Paris. We've done 2 vlogs for Disneyland Paris.
I'm glad Disneyland Paris is getting some love.
It is. Obviously, formerly Disney Studios is now becoming Disney Adventure World. We already knew that. We already knew there's a lot of construction going on there with the World of Frozen. That's now being confirmed as coming in 2026. But I also announced the other land that's coming to that area, and it is confirmed now to be a Lion King themed land with a water attraction similar to Splash Mountain from the looks of it.
I know, Lion King Splash Mountain.
Which
okay.
I've always said, I know it's cold, but Disneyland Paris needs more water attractions, especially one that maybe is predominantly indoors.
Yeah,
I think
weather
it needs to be there.
I think in the summer, obviously they get great weather, it's warm there in France, but I don't know, I can't say I'm going to be rushing to do it when, you know, in like Feb or Christmas time.
For those non-Brits watching, our theme parks are always shut from, what would you say, October through to March or November through to March?
Yeah, like Saythorpe Park or Alton Towers, they do like the Halloween things.
Predominantly because of the weather.
They close early November and open when, like, early
March.
mid-March.
Yeah, so it's interesting they've got that at a park that's run all year round. Whether that ride will have some downtime over the winter or whether it's done in a way that some of it is predominantly indoors, I don't know. But I'm really glad. Lion King's my favourite Disney film of all time. And I love water attractions, so I think that could be a new favourite for me when that opens.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And something a bit sooner, we are hopefully still on track to go to Disneyland Paris early next year. And as part of that, there is going to be a brand new nighttime spectacular. I don't think there's a name for it at this stage, but there is going to be a new fireworks show in the evening.
And it looks like it's got projections down Main Street.
Yeah.
And, you know, Disneyland Paris, like, their projections were a little bit... I feel like I didn't have my glasses on. They weren't in great quality.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be really good
I think that's because
that.
they brought back, I think, when we went earlier this year, Disney Dreams, which was one of their classic ones, the Peter Pan kind of led one, which is really cool. But I think it does show its age a bit in terms of the projection quality if we're being really picky. But ultimately, a Disney display is always good. Oh, and the other thing I didn't touch upon about Walt Disney World is obviously there's going to be a new nighttime parade, which will be amazing. When I was really young, remember very vaguely Mickey's nighttime electrical parade, I think it was called. And
I
is
never
like,
saw
oh,
that,
my God,
but from what I've seen online, it does look cool. So I'm really excited, and I think that will distribute the crowds a little bit before the fireworks. So that could be good.
And didn't really want to talk too much about California or anything like that because we've not been, so we don't really have a good perspective of it.
We'll go one day, guys. One day. We'll go.
But in California, they're obviously introducing a new Avatar land, which is going to be themed to the new sequel films. They're also going to have some additions to Avengers Campus as well, I believe. And there is probably something else I've missed out because there was so much announced. And also there's a Spider-Man coaster coming to Shanghai Disneyland, which I think is really cool.
I forgot about that.
And obviously Tokyo has just had the massive Fantasy Springs renovation, so there's not really anything on that front. But lots of Disney news, and I thought we couldn't really do a video just this week without giving our thoughts on some of it. But yeah, really, really excited for all the stuff coming to everywhere Disney in the world. So that's it. That was a little planning video for you guys. Partly to just tell you about our honeymoon because we're so excited, but also hopefully gave you a couple of ideas of how to book things and cost of things on the way as well.
Mostly just because we're really super excited.
Mostly just because we're very excited. We're very, very lucky to be going on another trip 3 years running. It's probably going to be our last Florida trip for a little while, if we're honest. So we cannot wait, and we cannot wait again to take you along for the ride because it's going to be so much fun. A lot of new experiences, a lot of new things.
It's not really hit me that we're going and having such a big trip because naturally everything's been wedding and planning all of that and sort of logistics. Obviously we've got little Disney touches at our wedding, which I'm sure we'll show you at some point. But yeah, I know, and we're going straight after the wedding as well, like the next day. So yeah, it hasn't really hit me yet, to be honest.
No, the next time we put a video out on our channel, we'll probably be married. It'll probably be I say probably not because we might get married. I mean because I don't think we're going to be putting another video out between now and the first vlog. So
probably not.
This is it's very exciting times for us. And yeah, all that's left to say really is if you do have any questions on anything to do with our honeymoon, anything to do with booking a Disney cruise or going through DVC rentals or even booking a trip to Clearwater,
please message us.
Just
or
drop comment below, message us on Instagram. We pretty regularly reply to our DMs, so please do reach out if you would like to. And of course, if there's anything you want us to try and focus a bit on during this upcoming series, say perhaps some more sort of disability stuff to do with Busch Gardens, for example, or whatever it might be, let us know because we'll do our best to try and incorporate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously DAS has changed and how that works in Disney World, so it's a bit of a question mark as to whether I'll qualify now. Who could say? But I'm sure we'll give you all the rundown.
Yeah, we didn't really touch upon that in this. Just very briefly, we are hiring an ECV again, as we did during the Walt Disney World leg of our trip. Jenny has got a walking aid, which she's going to be using on the cruise. And we're also going to have assistance at the airport, as we normally do. As well, like I say, DAS, we're not really sure. There's definitely conditions which I think that Jenny has that might qualify her under the new rules, but we're just obviously going to be honest and open with the cast member.
It's a bit of a grey area at the moment.
It is,
so
yeah. And
I can't say for definite.
We never want to take advantage. but also obviously having qualified for DAS in the last several years, it's a bit of a jolting kind of realization to be like, oh, maybe she won't qualify now. But we'll just be honest,
it's
with the cast member.
It's a bit scary to think.
Yeah.
Changes my experience of the day, but we'll just see. But we're going to be happy.
Either way, we will be purchasing the new. Oh, that's another thing that's changed. the new Disney Fast Pass system, now known as Disney Lightning Lane Single Pass and Multi Pass.
That's it.
We will be making use of them and hopefully showing you guys how they work, because that's changed since Genie Plus. For UK guests, obviously you cannot pre-book 7 days out like everyone else.
It's not great.
Or everyone else who's at a Disney hotel.
It's a shame. I mean, is that the case for like other European countries as well?
It is any international guest. However, the good thing for us, we are actually quite fortunate on this situation, because we are going to be in Florida 7 days before our first park day, because we'll be on the cruise. So we're going to get the Wi-Fi package and hopefully do that. But don't want to ramble too much because it just keeps going and going and going, because we're so excited. But the first vlog should hopefully be with you around mid-October time, and hopefully then there'll be a constant stream of vlogs covering everything Clearwater, Disney Cruise Line and Walt Disney World, and giving all our tips, tricks and experiences along the way. But yeah, anything else to add?
Just that we'll see you real soon.
We will see you real soon. Thanks so much for watching our videos. We really, really appreciate it. If you have really liked this video, then please do remember to like, subscribe to the channel so you know when our vlog series is coming out, because there's going to be a lot of videos coming your way.
We're pretty busy.
And we will see you in the next one. So thanks for watching. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Loving this moment, can we stay here forever?